Hey everybody, it's me, Mark with theprojectjunkie.com. In this video series, I'm going to show you guys how to refinish a rifle stock. In my hands here, I've got two stocks. Basically, these both looked exactly the same before refinishing this one here. It came off a Ruger 1022. This is what the stock looked like before refinishing. This is what it looked like right out of the box. And this is what it looked like after stripping, restaining, and refinishing. It's now a golden brown color and also glossy. So you can use this process on guitars and other furniture, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully I'll be able to show you something you didn't already know. Alright, you can see here that I've pressure bedded this stock. Basically I used some DevCon, and it's pretty much like a glass bedding, but it's steel based epoxy putty. I'm not really sure how the stripper is going to react to it, so I'm going to go ahead and tape it off just to hopefully give it a little bit more protection than what it might have if I didn't put anything on it. Now that I've got that taped off, I'm going to go ahead and take the butt of the stock off here. Just a couple of screws holding it on. Pretty easy to get off. Okay, I've laid some foil down, and I've got some Citristrip here. I decided to go with Citristrip just because it's safe to use indoors, and I didn't want to use anything with volatile fumes indoors. It's cold outside, that's why I'm doing it inside. But you can see me here just caking it on. Basically with Citristrip, when it goes dry it goes inert, but it's got some evaporative inhibitors in it. So if you put it on pretty thick, you should be alright. I'm going to let this sit for about 45 minutes, and it's pretty cool that it'll bubble up on you. You'll see that here in just a second. Yeah, you can see here it's just kind of bubbled up and it started flaking off the old finish here. So I just took a paper towel and just wiped this old finish off. You can actually use a scraper if you want on this, but this paper towel seemed to work fine. So I'm just going to go over the whole stock, and you can see the stuff falling off onto the foil there. I'm going to use this little scrubbing pad and just try to get some of the crud off of the stock. Wasn't able to get everything. You can see where my hand is, there's a dark spot. So I'm going to have to hit this again with more Citristrip. Alright, so I'm just doing coat number 2. I put a lot more Citristrip on the areas that are dark. You know, not necessarily where the wood grain is wet, but where the old finish never came off of it. So I'll show you that here in just a second too, the two spots. Alright, this is one of the spots on this side of the stock. Going around to the other side, this spot was a little bit bigger. Yeah, you can see that dark spot right there. Wasn't able to get that with the first coat, and the second coat should be able to take care of it just fine. Let this sit for another 45 minutes, and then we'll wipe it down again. Okay, you can see after the second coat of Citristrip that those spots come right off, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down, wipe the rest of the full finish off of it. I'm going to use the scrubbing pad and rub it down good, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and use up the rest of the Citristrip in this pan here and scrub down the stock as best I can, trying to get off any of the old finish. I'm going to go ahead and rinse the sponge out and then put some water in the pan and just kind of rub the stock down to help kind of get some of the old Citristrip off of there, and also set us up for the next process, which is steaming out the old stain or the old finish. Basically, you just take a household iron using the steam function and a cotton cloth. You just lay the cotton cloth on top of the stock, and then you just rub the cloth there, and that steam will help wick out some of the old finish that seep down into the stock or the wood fibers. This process also helps if you have any dents in your stock. It'll help pull those dents out. It pretty much realigns the wood fibers so that they're in their correct or proper position. I'll go over the same spot for as long as I need to, basically until there's no more brown coming up into the cloth there. And you'll see here in just a second that this cloth turns pretty brown. You can see right there, it turns pretty brown. So once you're done with that part, you should have a pretty bright and clean looking stock. You can see me pointing to this area here. This is where it's dried already. The darker spots are where it hasn't dried yet. Once this is dried, maybe overnight, you're pretty much ready for restaining and refinishing. The stock that you see above the pale one there is the original, or the original finish. The bright stock below it is the one we just stripped, so it's ready for restaining and refinishing. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video of stripping the stock. If you want to see how I finished it, check out video number 2 for staining the stock and video number 3 for finishing it with the True Oil. So anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next videos.